Hi. Today's edition of Sojourners Along the Way is going to be with Jan Weckman, who came to Athens, Ohio, about 13 years ago, and she got very involved with an interest group of Ohio University women. The interest group was exploring how to celebrate their memories. So today we're going to be going to her workshop, because she does put on monthly workshops, and also we will have some footage from the ACTV studio. So Jan told me that she would like to ask me a question.
What do you do with your photos, whether they be the older ones or the photos that you take now?
Well, when I think of photos and I think about family, I picture my mother collecting the photos and putting them into albums and having those little corner things and putting them in the pages. She was really, really good at doing that.
And that's probably what the majority of the audience would think of, the old scrapbooks, especially with the corners. Remember?
Yeah.
They had it glued down.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to explore a whole other avenue of celebrating your memories.
Okay. So I know you have monthly workshops, and that they are typically the third Saturday of every month,
Correct.
and they're free. and you're helping people to learn how to celebrate their memories. It's a memory celebration.
Absolutely is.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do? And then we're going to attend one of Jan's workshops.
Yeah, they take place in the downstairs of our house that has been remodeled to basically fit the needs of what you would do in a workshop. I sit with whomever needs me to sit with them, and many times it's not even me doing the sitting. Other people share and help each other, so it is a group activity, all celebrating each other's memories. The tools are shared, so you have access to all of my tools and my cutters. Everyone helps each other, so someone comes up with an idea and it's everyone's idea. Some come to do digital, some come to do traditional. We have a great time, but yeah, it runs from 10 to 4, typically the third Saturday of each month.
And I've learned through this that Jan is very creative and very helpful and a lot of fun. For those of us that don't know, would you tell us what that is, please?
That's a Cricut machine. You set it up where it will cut out letters and shapes to add to as embellishments to your projects.
Okay.
So it's a pretty cool machine.
Yeah.
It really is, yeah.
And people that come to the workshops,
they have access to use it. They must bring their own cutting pad. That's the only thing I ask of them, since those are what wear out most frequently. So yeah, if you want to use the Cricut machine once and try it out and like it, then from that point on you bring your own cutting pad.
I needed to broaden my horizons and start catching these other precious moments that were going on. Not only the milestones that you would think of, but you know, things like flowers blooming, a funny sign that you see as you go for a walk, the dog sleeping. Those are all moments that they are precious. And so you know, through that you realize that life is a gift.
And if we inform people that there are things that years from now you're going to say, oh, I wish. So maybe by trying to do a memory celebration, you're going to be conscious of, I want to capture this moment.
Yes.
And we need to know, what do we do when we capture those moments?
Right. And I think it's important that everyone has a story, and it needs to be told. What's nice is you can make them, if you want to go black and white, if you want to go sepia. And these pages are all pre-designed pages. So I literally just, with this particular kit, I could drag the pictures in, and then I chose a title and added embellishments.
Okay.
The big thing with celebrating your memories is tell your story.
Okay.
Pictures are beautiful, and they're essential part of your book, but the story is what you want to tell. Talk about when it happened, what smells were going on, what were you feeling. That's not part of the picture. Give them the background information. Journaling is essential, and a lot of people are uncomfortable with journaling. but that's the big part
Well,
of
let's call it a
storybooks.
different name. Tell the story.
Yes.
Tell the story of what was happening, who was there, what was going on. And again, I'm going to say digitally, you can do a lot of creative things to make that page look beautiful.
You really can. You really can. And digital, the big difference between traditional and digital is those pages that you saw in the digital books. They're pre-designed.
But for the people that want to do their own creating, they can get pages that allows them that
opportunity. Start with a blank page. Yeah. Celebrate the little things.
I really enjoy using the computer to make these photo albums because you can do a lot of interesting things on the computer. You can add a lot of different embellishments, and you can make your own papers and add things that you've scanned in and to your pages. And I just think it makes the pages really interesting.
Also at the workshop, my tools are available to you, the various cutting tools. There's the individual cutter to trim your pictures. There are the straight cutter to cut your paper. This cutter is very cool. You can actually change the blade to offer various shapes on your paper. And the various blades are here as well. Of course, we have the Cricut. And then you may see on the shelves below me, there's lots of shape cutters to add embellishments to your pages. And my favorite one I have to show you over here. It is a new tool. It is a border cutter. And what's cool is it has various cartridges. And so you pop the cartridges in and you slide out slide your paper in, fold this back, and you start cutting to create a border for the side of your page. And there are lots of different shapes. You can put it on the side of your pages or across the top. You can slice it and bend it a little bit to loop it. Makes a great added embellishment to any page. There's lots of different cartridges, and this page shows you an example of using a different cartridge, but how I was able to accent this page using a different cartridge on each side. I also have templates that you can use this cutting tool. It is a pen that has a blade at the end of it and a cutting pad. And I have letters, various shapes for holidays, for sports, and again, these are embellishments that you add to your page. These larger letters make great titles for the cover page of a book. So those are other tools available. I have paper. I have adhesives that you can come and purchase, cardstock, and lots of pages and page protectors and ribbons and stickers. So I have just about anything you could possibly need to get yourself started on your memory celebration right here at the workshop.
I use the camera in my phone and take pictures, usually in the classroom, and then I can download the pictures from the camera onto my computer and then put it in the storybook, the program I have listed for making these digital pictures in digital formats. But sometimes I use a camera, but I don't have one right now, so I'm using the camera that's in my phone. I make some digital photos, and I put together a little book of printed pictures through our digital format and give these to the parents at the end of each school year, so they have some good pictures of their kids doing different things during the school year. And I use a digital format to take pictures and download them onto my computer, and come here to her workshops and try to put them together with different pages and different formats, and ends up being a really good little booklet for parents to enjoy looking at their kids throughout the school year, what they've done, different activities we do through the school year.
All done digitally. Scanned the photos in and created the pages. And this was a challenge, finding the photos, because I didn't have them all. I had to ask old roommates, et cetera, so.
Some people come to make cards, and I have found that just the creative side of memory celebration lends itself to lots of other activities, and I myself have gotten into making cards from beginning in celebrating my memories, and if you think about it, making cards is another way to celebrate your memories. So yes, I'm making cards as well as creating the various books that I've made.
When my Aunt Adele passed away, they asked me to make some storyboards. This is one storyboard. It's a lot of pictures. Now when you look at that, what's missing?
I don't know what's going on, what's the importance, what's the occasion, who other people are in the pictures. Was that her first car?
Exactly. You don't know the story behind the pictures. So things like the dates, the people's names, the places. The pictures have a story behind them, and the stories have pictures. They go together. So when I look at those, that's so many stories gone forever. So if you do nothing else, if people watching this do nothing else, what I would like them to do is take all the pictures they do have that they know, or when they take pictures now and get them printed up, write the names of the people who are in the picture and the date and where and when. You're missing a chance to celebrate that memory because you took that picture for a reason. Mm-hmm. And that picture was precious, or that moment was precious at the time you took that picture. So that information is essential. So do that now. So when I look at this picture of, I believe it's on this side, of Gary and Nick, all right, one photo, piece of cake. I can remember that photo and I know that story really well. The problem is when you have piles and piles and piles of photos. This particular photo, my husband decided to learn how to play the guitar so he could play with Nick.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
It was, and they did not realize that I was taking that picture. But seeing the connection between them is what I was really trying to catch in that picture. And someone else looking at this picture would not have the same memories as I do. Mm-hmm. So when I write the story about that picture, it's not only Gary's playing guitar with Nick, I tell the story of how important that was to Gary, that he shared that time with Nick, how much Nick loved, that time, in spite of the fact that Gary had a bit arthritic fingers. And so, again, it's more than just the picture. So someone would look at that picture and go, oh, cute picture. Yeah. But the story tells the real memory behind the picture. So I do have some interesting stats for you.
Okay.
These are stats from 2008. Okay, so back in 2008, there were 28.6 billion photos taken. Of those, only 9.3 billion were printed.
There were 2/3 of the photos never used.
Okay, and in a recent survey of 2,000 people, 75% said that they had done nothing tangible with their photos. So where do you think people are putting all their photos? More importantly, where will those photos be in 5, 10, or 15 years? Okay, so what do you do with your photos?
Do I answer that question?
You can, or you don't have to.
Well, I love photography. In fact, I have even done some darkroom work, and so photography was a very fun hobby of mine. And I took pictures and I gave them to the people. But the photos that I didn't and the ones that did get printed, I'm sad to say that many of them are in shoe boxes.
For many, Facebook.
That's true.
Yeah, Facebook has become their scrapbook. Okay, and if that's true for you, I want, not for you, but for our viewers, I want them to be aware that if you've shared a photo on your Facebook and information, that you no longer have control of that information.
Yeah, I want to dig a little bit deeper than that because I forget whether it was last week or so, Jan told me that once you take a picture and you post it on Facebook, it's no longer yours. Facebook owns it, and I want to emphasize that because I asked some other people about that, and they said yes, they had heard that. So beware. If you have pictures you don't want in the public domain, don't use Facebook. If you have pictures you want to be able to share, listen to Jan. She's going to tell you how to preserve them so they'll be really beautiful.
Well, and you know, a lot of people think, well, I'll just delete it off of my Facebook page. But if you've shared it, it's on other people's pages.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, that's a dilemma that we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook is used as many people's scrapbook. So, unfortunately, you know, technology and busy lifestyles have left many of us feeling overwhelmed and frustrated with the number of photos we're not dealing with, especially with digital.
Yeah.
You know, when we used to really think carefully of the picture we took, we'll now take 10 to 15 pictures of the same exact thing, and you know, figure we'll only use the one we like best. But you save them all; they're all on your memory card. So download them at least onto your computer. So you know, our photos aren't any less valuable to us, but often it's just too hard to know where to start. That's the problem.
Then you're going to tell us where to start.
So where do you start? Well, okay. One of the big holdups in creating that first album is finding the writers. Okay, and so if you have a conglomeration of photos in shoe boxes and they're not organized, okay, then what happens is you end up not doing that project because you can't find the photos. So the first step is to get organized. Okay, do you have to organize all of your photos in order to start that first project? No, but you need to get started with a basic plan. So you have two approaches, okay? First of all, you need some sort of photo safe box, okay? Preferably dark, because that will protect your photos from the sunlight coming in, okay? And you can either file them sequentially, so according to the year or the month, or you can file them thematically, according to the event. Okay. So, for example, in here, I have Nick's various grades in school. So this was my box for Nick's school years. Okay, so that was my approach. And then in the back, I have it according to holidays. Okay, so the front is sequential and the back is thematic. So it doesn't matter. What you're going to find as you're going through your photos, excuse me, you're going to notice themes coming out to you. Like, oh, gee, I have a lot of pictures of Nick with the dogs. Or, you know, he played soccer for a long time, or he was really good friends with this person. So you find these themes popping out at you. And so when that happens, you get a new divider, and you mark your new divider with the theme that you're talking about.
Okay.
And I want you to remember, temporary storage units, as these photos need to get in something more permanent than this. So this is a temporary storage for these photos. Then they're going to go into an album. Before you get started with an album, you need to plan it out so that you're not stuck with
dilemma.
empty pages. Okay, what's your dilemma, Mary Ellen?
Well, you see, I have this wonderful layout that I had done and finished up, and it's navy blue and purple. And now I'm moving on to spring pictures that do not match. Ta-da.
So if you plan it out, you don't run across this dilemma. So what you do is you do a power layout. And that is simply, you have this photo safe box, dark box, and you have dividers. So you take the dividers and you plan out 2-page spreads. So you take these dividers and you put them down and you lay your pictures first,
on, and they don't have to be in any order, but just the pictures that you know you want on one page. You just lay them down on the page, and then you put the other pictures on the other page, and then you start planning your page with your colors. So since lavender is the dominant color in her pictures, she chose a lavender background, and the partner page has lavender flowers in it. And this could be done at this point, or you can wait until you're actually creating the pages to do this. But typically what you do with these pages then is you lay out lots of them, several of them. And you can actually plan your entire book prior to doing the book with all your pictures printed out, and you just lay the pictures on each page, and you lay these out. Typically when I do this for my books, I take 4 tables, and then after I put all the pictures on these dividers, I just take, this is going to be my top picture, I just put it on top of this one, and then on top of this one, and you just keep going, and you pile up all your pages, and you lay them in the box. So when you go to a crop, you bring your power layout box, and the picture that's the page that's on the top comes out first, and you just do that page, and then you go on to the next one, which will be the next one under that, and it allows you to pre-plan your entire book. Page plan. It's not completely done, but she has a plan. So she's not going to be stuck with empty pages or pages out of order.
That don't match.
That don't match.
So this is the pages I'm working on right now. This is from 2011, and it was Easter, and I took some pictures of butterflies and lilac bushes, which are some of my favorite things, and then put my daughter's pictures on here as well. And so now I'm laying out the page and trying to organize it how I want it to be. And the big dilemma right now is because I have too many pictures for one page, so I'm trying to figure out where they need to go. So then once you lay them out how you like them, which is always difficult when you've got too many pictures, then you use your glue and what's actually tape, and this just puts a little bit of tape on the back of the picture, like so. And this actually then fits right directly on the page.
You're saving grace.
Oh, that's nice.
And then with this, you also, this is a vellum, so sometimes it shows through, but these have vellum stickers so that it does not show through. You want to make sure you use the right kind.
Like maybe a picture of one kid.
And the thing with these is you have to press them down pretty firmly so that they stay on, and also they don't show through.
Well, okay, put a picture in there. Click on this, I'll show you what you can do. Click on that,
Click on that, yeah.
and then find a picture.
And
that
again,
you think
I
might
play
work.
around with it until I like it.
It is insane, fill the element.
It's hard to figure out where you
No,
want
it's
things
gonna say-
exactly.
Add photo in
No,
a new frame.
So that it fits just
okay,
right.
So what you've done here, it's, and I don't think that's a picture for a photo.
Oh, undo.
That's for text. No, that's where, they don't want a picture
Oh,
there,
okay,
they want
okay.
text.
And it's important that
in
you
there.
use
It's
the
a
right
text box, it's
types
not
And
a
then
of-
one there
photo
too,
box.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Things Creative
Yeah,
Memories has a
And
really
if you
good
don't
line
want
of
it,
things
you
that
can
is all
just
acid free and lignin free, and so your adhesive
She could.
needs to be safe for the album.
If you want to.
And also that it'll hold
maybe
well,
I could just take it away
preserve
because
your
I kinda
memories.
like the way the colors and the pictures are going with the, like you guys said.
And there you have
If I
it.
just get rid of the
But we
circle.
could do a picture in there and make it a circle. I wanted to quickly show you what I was talking with Mary Ellen about, now that I have a little more space. I can show you what a power layout actually looks like. I wanted to finish this album. It's a slide-in album, and it has, as you can see, 2 horizontal pictures and 2 vertical pictures and 3 horizontal pictures on each page. So it takes some planning in creating an album like this. Now, there certainly are fillers, so if you are without a certain style photo, you can rearrange things. But anyways, I'm going to finish this album, and so I've used a power layout in filling my remaining pages. My pictures are printed,
and I've laid them on the dividers. So this is a 2-page spread. So I actually have the remainder of this album laid out and organized. And it's very important, since this is not an expandable album, I have a limited number of pages. So I have to be careful and make sure that it's going to fit within the pages that I have. So once it is laid out, I take, this will be on top, and I just take each page and put each page on top of the other. And I just continue to take each page and lay it on the previous page. So my front of the album is still on top. And then I come back here. And this is a great way that you know exactly how many pages you need and how many pages it's going to take to finish. And some people like to decorate before, like during their power layout, getting the papers and embellishments. I don't do that. This is easy enough for me. So I just take all this and put it in my power layout box. And it is ready. So when I go to a crop, all I have to do is take this in my album. Start that first book, and once you start that first album, you're going to just say, this is good. This is a good thing. Okay? So.
And it's okay that it can change over time, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And also, what will happen is other themes will come into mind, or other events will happen. For example, I was doing other things when we went to New York, and those were put on the side table so that I could work on this album. So that's going to happen. Or events, you know, my niece became pregnant, and so, you know, you started another project as a gift. I give any albums away as I keep, probably I give more away than I keep for myself.
I think so.
So that's, and then that's a good thing, because sharing the importance of memory with the person that you give that album to, they understand how important it is, and they treasure it.
I like the phrase that you used, which is memory celebration. And I think that gives a totally different concept and perception. And so if we are helping the audience to know you have memories that you want to celebrate and remember in the future, so think of it as you're creating something for your future generations from now, you know, and if it's documented, they're not going to have to do like you did with your auntie, you know, who was that? You're going to tell us all kinds of stuff. Actually now with modern technology, it is not posting pictures into an album. It's way beyond that.
Yeah, it is.
So please,
it certainly has gone much
show
further.
us that.
Well, and there's a few things that when you get started, okay, technology has come a long way. That's good and that's bad. Because, for example, I can go to Walmart and to Joann's, you know, to a lot of different places, and buy scrapbooks.
Okay.
You have to be watchful of some things.
Okay, please tell us.
Okay, so my point is you're spending some very important time on this album, and you're not making, believe it or not, you're really not making the albums just for yourself. You're making them for your family, and you're also making them for your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren, and you want them to last. So albums need certain things to last a long time. Okay, one thing, for example, is you need an adhesive that is photo-safe. And a lot of things say photo-safe. Be watchful. It has to be acid-free. We all have those old albums that, the sticky pages, remember the sticky pages?
Okay.
That when you open them, all right? I hate to do it, but, and yes, I still have some of these.
Yeah.
One thing I would tell your audience is, when you're organizing your photos, get them out of your sticky albums.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the same adhesive that makes that page sticky also fades and deteriorates those photos. That's why when you go back to those old albums, you know that the pictures kind of look yellow.
Yeah.
And it's the actual adhesive made them look yellow. So you want something that is acid-free, lignin-free, and lignin is, you know, newspapers.
Okay.
The old newspapers, they yellow and they crumble.
Yeah.
You touch them and they crumble. That's because of the lignin that's in that paper.
How do you spell that word?
Lignin. And most of them will say that. Now,
Okay.
if you get a good album, it's going to say acid-free and lignin-free. But there's this third important part that a lot of them don't, and it's called buffered.
Okay.
What buffered means is that it protects what's in it against pollution and light and the air.
Okay.
Because, unfortunately, air also is guilty of deteriorating our photos.
Yes.
So you want them to be buffered. So 3 things, okay? Acid-free, lignin-free, and buffered. Okay, those are the 3 things. When you look at pens, make sure they're bleed resistant. Because, unfortunately, things spill. And you don't want your journaling, the story behind your picture, to be ruined. So you want bleed-resistant markers or pens. Okay? So those are important things to look for.
And also acid-free pencils. I mean, acid-free seems to be one of the keys for anything connected with photos.
With photos, absolutely. And the paper
Yes.
as well. And the lignin-free and the acid-free with your paper, that needs to be, not just for the book itself and the pages, but for the paper and the decorations, the embellishments that you're using as well. Okay? So once you have the idea, okay, so you decide, you know, you want to do an album for your son playing soccer, or like I did for my son playing music. You have to pick the type of album that best suits your own personal style, which is really cool because, again, that album I did for Nick, that was doing traditionally, and that was, you know, bringing out the papers and the stickers and the cutters and the tools, and it took a lot, but I like doing that and I get into it. Not everyone has that artsy feel to their personality, and that's fine. It's absolutely fine. What's wonderful about celebrating your memories is you celebrate them the way you want to celebrate them, and also adjust it to the time you have. So if you're limited in time but you want to save those memories, then choose an album that is fast.
Okay.
Which brings me to the Fast and Fabulous type albums.
Ah, very good.
Okay, and this is one of many fast. This is Fast and Fabulous, but they call them lots of other things. And basically, your pages are pre-designed. So you develop the pictures, and you get that acid-free adhesive. Thank you. And they give you the embellishments, and you just put your pictures down. And you do your journaling wherever you want to do it. Journaling is important. And then you can create this particular album while your child's taking a nap. You really can. If you have your pictures organized in some kind of order, you can just slap them in and get them done. What's nice about this type of album also is it's expandable. So if you tell your story and you want to add more, you get some more pages.
Okay.
And these type of albums come with page protectors, which you slide over the pages. What's really important also is when you're looking at page protectors, you want the side-loading page protectors, so they're closed on the top and the bottom to keep dust out.
Okay.
I would say the majority of your page protectors are open on the top. They're top-loading. So be aware that if they're top-loading, you will get dust inside your
and we
pages.
don't want dust.
And you don't want dust.
Yeah.
So that's the Fast to Fabulous. Then another quick album to do are your slide-in albums, where you they typically will come with some type of kit, and that will give you your place for journaling, as well as if you don't have pictures that go in the direction of the slide-in, you can fill it in with paper and also put your embellishment there.
Yeah.
But these are quick, and you just develop your pictures and slide them in.
Okay.
So slide-in albums are a quick way for those with limited time.
And while getting this one ready, I want to interject that she does workshops that are free once a month, and it's typically on the third Saturday of every month. Now, you do need to register for those workshops, and the contact information is her email address, which is Janet, Janet, .Weckman, WECKMAN, @gmail.com.
Thank you.
You're
Yes.
welcome. So yeah, I hope that you're getting creative ideas. Let's open that up.
Okay.
And you're getting some creative ideas, and particularly nowadays with digital. Jan's told me stuff about digital. Here, I'll hold it.
I'll let you grab
Yeah.
that one.
So there's a lot. I mean, it's endless what you can do.
There really is. I mean, if you can think it, you can create it. You
Yeah.
really can. Okay, these two type albums, typically your two album sizes, the most popular sizes are your 12 by 12 and your 8 by 8. Okay? Now these albums are, again, the slide-in albums, but what's nice is I can approach this in two different ways. In fact, I do more digital now than I do traditional. And what's nice is I can print up 12 by 12 digital, and I print them up. I do have a 12 by 12 printer, but if you don't, you can send them to be printed, and you just slide your page in here. And so this is a 12 by 12 slide in.
Oh, wow.
And you just simply put your pictures, you get them printed up, and you slide them in here. Now, this type album is not expandable, so the problem with it is you are limited to the pages. So when you're done, you're with that book and you have to go to another book. They do make them that are expandable.
Okay.
So unless you know exactly how many pages you have, I recommend getting an expandable album.
You have some supplies at your home also, and yours would all be acid-free and
Yes.
everything else. They would be the good stuff. So Jan's a good resource.
Well, and mine are Creative Memories. And
Okay.
I highly recommend Creative Memories, mainly because their albums, first of all, have the three, they're lignin-free, acid-free, and they're buffered, but their albums have a lifetime guarantee.
Oh, now that's nice.
And they come with a consultant.
And I have it here in my notes someplace that you are a licensed, but
I'm digitally licensed.
you're
yes.
digitally
Yeah.
licensed. Okay.
Yes, yeah, and I can explain. Would
Yeah,
you like
please
me to
do.
explain
I
what
would
that
like- I
means
would
now?
love for you to explain
What
that.
that means is that I went through training, online training, for a particular program I use is Storybook Creator Plus. Now, that program has now become licensed through Panstoria, but it's still a program. It's not a Creative Memories program anymore. It's a Panstoria program, but I am licensed in that particular program, and that is a digital scrapbooking program. The 8 by 8 is similar, where it is the same situation you can create. And what's nice with 8 by 8s is you can print them on your own printer. You don't need a special 12 by 12 printer. And you just slide in your pages that way as well. So that's another option. Now the digital storybooks that Patricia was talking about was...
And you made these covers too, yes?
You make the whole thing. You make the whole
Yeah.
thing. And
I think that's impressive.
This is a special one, and this is a great idea for anyone who wants to put together a quick book. My customers made this for me. Tanya. Do you know Tanya? Okay, she goes to our church. But Tanya, I do scrapbooking overnighters at the Ohio University Inn. That says, "Welcome, Creative Memories." But Tanya went around and got people to sign out little cards. And so they wrote little notes to me, and she put them next to that person's picture. And that was really special. So this was a surprise one Christmas from my customers. And this is a traditional album. So this is a great idea for anyone who wants to do a special gift for someone. Just get people to write notes to them and put that next to their pictures, and you've got a great album.
I make this every year for my families of me and my two sisters, and then Hoffman is my dad's, or my maiden name. So what I do is for each family, like I'm the Stock family, so this is like I put a picture of our family in here, and then usually each family will tell me what they want me to write. And then this year I did the adults too, so I go through and tell a little bit about each person, what their favorite color is, their favorite food, their hobbies, their favorite TV show, and their happiest or favorite memory from the year. And so I do that for the adults. I did that for the adults this year. And then each child gets that, and then they have a page of pictures too. And then, so I have 3 kids, so they had 3 pages. And then this is my middle child, and he graduated this year from Athens High School, so he got some extra pages for his graduation. And what I do is I print these pages out at home on cardstock, and then I take it to the copy place, and then they put the binding on it. This binding on it. So. And so this is a Christmas gift that everybody gets, and it's all done digitally.
Like here, I'll show you. I'm presently making a calendar and storybook. I'm working on your picture, Gretchen.
Yeah.
But on storybook, the calendars are free downloads.
That was a good brow, Betty.
Come on.
So you just go to Panstoria?
Yeah.
I thought the Panstoria didn't work with Creative Memories. Does it now?
Oh yeah, it actually always has.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What you can't get are the updates. That's
Okay.
That's the problem. So that storybook. Here we go. So storybook. Right now, as long as we have, it's up Windows 8, and it'll be fine. What's going to happen is when Windows goes beyond, and they have their next big update, then that's when this probably will not work anymore.
Oh no.
So the only thing I could say is on your own computer, don't get the new update. Don't get the Windows update.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
And your program should still be fine. But what you do is you just go to Panstoria and you'll get the blank template, so that's what you get.
Okay.
Is your template. So you have to design, you have to start from a totally blank page, which you're used to doing anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's not a problem. And you just design each of your pages, so.
And so, what does that look like? Does it have a like a spiral binding in the middle?
Yeah, it looks like this. This is a let's see. This Panstoria is a story.
Wow, that's huge.
But what's nice, see, is that
that is nice.
it's perforated.
Oh.
And so this is your 12 by 12 page.
Neat.
So yeah, so that's what actually I brought out this album for, is to see, this is what it looks like. This is another calendar that I had made, and so there's your pages.
That is really neat. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Anytime I go with Brad to BotCon, I make him a calendar. And I didn't go with him last year, so I don't have enough pictures for Brad, but I'm making the calendar for back here for that calendar.
Wow, that's cool.
So you can just cut these off and then they're 12 by 12.
Yep. They're 12 by 12. What's nice too, Gretchen, is you can take if there's a particular picture you really like, you can make it full page. Okay, I thought I'd show you real quickly. I do digital workshops once a month. I am a Panstoria affiliate. Panstoria is the place that, or the store that has created the digital program that I use. And so I teach others how to use this digital program. It's called Artisan.
but I do now have a website, and I wanted to show you how to link to my website. It's Cropportunities, which is what I call this place where we do our memory celebrating. So take a look at the screen and I'll show you how to get to my website.
Type in angelfire.com/sci-fi/BB Fortress/cropportunities.html. Make sure you have everything spelled correctly. Press enter, and then you'll come to the Cropportunities webpage, where memories are cherished because life is worth celebrating. You'll see that we have Creative Memories products and Ani and Zoe tools and products, and our digital connection is Panstoria, and there are links here that will get you right to the Panstoria store, the print shop, as well as the store that sells the digital products that we use. It has my schedule, and then at the end it has a little bit about me as well. And if you need to contact me, you just click on my name and it links you to me. So if you need to leave me a message, you can do it right through my website. My email is Janet, Janet,
Okay.
.Weckman, WECKMAN, @gmail.com.
Doing a scrapbook of my ancestors, and it was before she got married, and her name is Grace Carolyn, and I've got to figure out how to put the words in here because I'm just learning how to use digital, and then it comes here, and
And you size it.
stretch it out.
There you go.
I don't know.
And once you got it, you say create.
Okay,
And then you double click on that to start your,
okay.
and if you want a different font, or the size, or, and there's your color.
Okay, so I'm going to have to kind of search around and figure out what I want to do now. Just something that I like. And then I'm going to change the size.
What we're doing is I brought out all the old memories of the
And
previous.
it's still not big enough, so I got to get some more. Okay, this is my mother and father, Jack and Willa Mae Bridges, in 1935. And this is my grandmother again. And I'm not sure how old she was, but she must have gotten all dressed up for the picture.
And then I
Hi.
also did.
I'm taking it that I'm going to be here.
You're right there.
That's about all I have right now, because I'm just learning how to use the digital.
Jan, you have several things that I think would be very interesting for our audience to see. So would you tell us what you have?
All right. This is a calendar, and they come in a few different sizes. This is the 12 by 18, and what's nice about calendars is you can remember the previous year, but you remind the person you give it to of your love every single month. So, and what's also nice is you can personalize not only the pictures you put on it, but you can also personalize the dates.
Okay.
So you can add birth dates and special dates to you and to the person you're giving it to. So there's this one. I always make my husband a desk calendar with special events for us, just a smaller one. And then it also comes the size that would allow you to put the 8 by 8 top part into your scrapbook. So this top part is actually able to be separated from the calendar part, and it becomes part of a scrap.
That sounds
it's
fun.
very cool.
And we're calling them memory celebrations because
Yes.
it's much more than just scrapbooking. In fact, we were talking and you said there are other things that can be done besides an album or a calendar. So would you tell our audience some of those other things?
Oh, digitally, you can do anything. I've made my own business cards. You can, the Christmas cards that you see many people do, that's digital, memory celebration. You can make your own stationery. You can do your own greeting cards. So, and you can also do poster size digital creations too. So it's pretty cool. You really can do just about anything.
I was just going to say it can be limitless. Now there is something special about this particular page on the calendar, and just for fun, would you tell our audience what it is? And this is your son Brad.
This is our older son Brad, and this is a yearly event that he attends. This is called BotCon, and that is for Transformer collectors. And he is an avid Transformer collector. But what was very cool is this one picture right here is with him speaking to a famous author within the Transformer groups. And this author has written lots of comic books and comic book series as well as books. But Brad also writes fanfics, online fanfics. And this author actually emailed Brad personally and commented on how much he loved Brad's fanfics. So he was talking to him and thanking him for sending him that email, that it meant a lot to him. So that picture is very special. Absolutely. So the story behind the picture is what the memory is all about.
Exactly. Tell the story.
Yep.
And that's what Memory Celebration is all about. Celebrate the event.
The cutting tools, there are 3 different blades. There's a blue and a green and a red. And if you look at the templates here,
When you say open project, I don't understand why it's
if I
not
can find the
showing
right
up
one to
down
show you,
here.
I can give you an overview. They show the line color,
Project
and it will show you where it's going to cut.
And where did you say
The
that?
blue cuts the
in
closest, the
there?
green the next, and then the red. And for my picture that I need, well, actually I'm doing the paper to put behind a
Is that what
picture,
you named
I'm going to
it,
use
or-
blue.
Well, that's what
And so then you line these little pegs up,
Okay, so
and then just
let's go over here.
press firmly down. And then it cuts a perfect oval.
There's nothing found.
For such a computer.
Well, I'm just cutting the edges off of some of my pictures that I want to scrapbook. And so to make them the right size, use this cutter and slice the edges off. Sure. And then of course leave all your scraps behind so people say, why did you leave your scraps? I get made fun of for that quite a bit.
It took forever to put those out. Lots of eating.
Your New Year's resolution, Mary Ellen, we have to post that up. Mary Ellen will pick up
her scraps. And I always leave cutters out and things.
All right, we used to have Croptoberfest in October, and it was an hour, typically by crops are 6 hours, Croptoberfests are 10 hours. So it's a long day of cropping, and sometimes I would do overnighters for Croptoberfest, or National Scrapbooking Day is our celebration in the spring, and that would be another 10-hour crop. We always celebrated when someone finished a page. That was the big thing. So for this one, they wore their boa. When they would yell when they got their page done, and then they had to put a boa on, but it was hilarious because everyone wore the boa differently. So that's why the page says, how do you wear your boa? And every time someone got the boa, what did we all yell? Who remembers? Boa-dacious! Very good! And then one year we did where you had to wear the tiara when you got the page. You got your page done.
The sunglasses and the fish, the lies.
Yes, this was fun. When they finished the page, they got the fish, and they had to tell a tale. And everyone had to listen to it, and you had to decide, did they tell the truth, or was it a fish tale? And we were getting good at lying that day, because we were making up little minute lies for each story, and everyone else had to decide truth or fishtail. So that was cool. Then everyone got a visor, and you got fishes when you fooled everyone. We all had sunglasses that day, so that was fun. So you do gimmicks, we have lots of fun. Then we would do at the crops, the all-nighters, or the overnighters, we would do bingos. Of course, we did that here. Crop bingos where you had to do certain things to get the square. and then you would get prizes for filling the bingo.
I'm trying to design a page to put 3 pictures in there.
Okay.
And this is called a click and fill. It comes just like this. Then I can add the pictures
You should be able to.
very easily. And then you add color paper. You do whatever you want to do
You usually
to
can't
get
see it's part
all
the
of
background.
that
That's what it
on
is.
there.
That's not a separate element.
That's my
Then
12 by
That's
12
the one you
Christmas page for this year of my family.
The
Yeah.
old newspaper gets yellow
Yeah,
and it gets crumbly almost,
Yeah,
like you're
yeah.
afraid to touch it.
yeah.
Okay, that's because the lignin, the part of the paper, it's
Yeah.
it's in the paper product,
Uh-huh.
it deteriorates over time.
Oh.
So if you get a scrapbook that has lignin in it, it's
Yeah.
going to do the same thing that old newspapers do. It's going to start
Oh.
deteriorating.
Oh,
But you don't see buffered very often. And
Mhm.
buffered is that they add something extra to it, and not being a chemist, I can't explain what that is,
Yeah.
to protect it from pollution and the air, because your air
oh, really?
over time
Yeah.
is going to
Oh.
deteriorate photos. It's just the way it is.
Right.
So the creative memory products have that buffer as well
Oh.
to protect it against pollution.
I
So
didn't know that.
How about that?
yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I do every year is I take some of the Christmas cards that we receive and then I scan them in and then I make digital pages using those Christmas cards that we've received.
I'd like to take this opportunity to invite anyone who's interested in creating their own memory celebration. Please come to my workshops. You are welcomed. I typically have them here at Opportunities the third Saturday of each month. So my next one is coming up February 21st from 10 to 4. They are free. Feel free to come for the entire workshop or for part of it. And let me help you get started on your memory celebration. Various activities take place during our workshops. People come, they do digital, they do traditional, so pages and books are being created, as well as some people come to make cards. Some people are creating calendars and mouse pads and business cards and anything. If you can think it, you can create it. So let me help you get started. I would ask that you please register beforehand at my email address, janet.weckman@gmail.com, so that I know how many tables to set up. And look forward to seeing you soon so we can get you started on your memory celebration.